everyone. Today's lecture is about solving an exercise or the second quiz, which is about the gastric juice. I have to start by reading the title. The title of this exercise is about gastric juice, so I have to يعني بريح نفسيتي إنه because I have studied about gastric juices وما حيكون فيه شيء صعب لأنه it's already يعني studied uh, during our lectures. فحنشتغل عن gastric juice. It's gastric juice secreted in stomach is a mixture of water, hydrochloric acid, electrolyte وإيل شو هن and an enzyme called pepsin. فإذا الجاستريك جوس هو secreted in stomach هو mixture of water بقلبه water بقلبه hydrochloric acid وإلكترولايت وعنده pepsin an enzyme called pepsin. أنا I have to focus here على البيبسين بوقف عليها شوي. طالما عم بحكي عن البيبسين فإذا الإنزيم هو responsible for the chemical transformation. فإذا الجاستريك جوس بيعمل chemical transformation للفود، بيعمل molecular simplification of food، بيعمل hydrolysis of food، بيعمل chemical digestion chemical transformation، قلنا hydrolysis وشو كمان بيعمل molecular simplification، كلهم عن طريق an enzyme اللي هو بيبسين نحن نستعمله مثل مقصات تيقطعوا الأكل. In order to determine the effect of gastric juice on the chemical transformation of food, we perform the following experiment. So here you can take the aim of this exercise from the introduction. So the aim لشو بيهدف exercise, the aim of this exercise أو the objective of this exercise هي to determine the effect of gastric juice on the chemical transformation of food. فإذا البروبلم إذا أنا بدي أخدها what is the effect of gastric juice on the chemical transformation of food، شو تأثير. فإذا البروبلم هي بتكون what is the effect، شو تأثير of gastric juice on the chemical transfer of food. And here don't forget to put a question mark because it will be incorrect if you didn't put the question mark. The description is very easy. You have to use the legend here or the key here. I have to put albumin in both tubes A and B. Then we add gastric juice to tube B, and after that we place them in a water bath of 37 degrees Celsius for 60 minutes. So here you can take the answer from here and put it here. So first we put albumin in both tubes in A and B. What do you mean by albumin? Albumin is the egg white, which is rich in proteins. Okay, so the albumin here is an egg white rich in proteins. Then we add gastric juice to tube A only, and after that we place them in outer bath of 37 degrees Celsius for 60 minutes. So here the variable factor is the gastric juice, which is present here and absent here. So here I'm studying the effect of the gastric juice on the chemical transformation of food. So here because of that the variable factor is gastric juice. ما أنا عم بدرس تأثير gastric juice. So in this case the variable factor must be the gastric juice. Okay, بعدين samples are taken from each tube at the beginning and the end of the experiment to study the presence of proteins by performing coagulation test, and the results are shown in document 2 below. So here I have a table of results done at time 0 and after 60 minutes. فإذا أنا هون حتى ننزلهم شوي حتى نحلهم على رواق. هون أخدت samples at time 0 which gives plus 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 plus. What do you mean by 3 pluses؟ لأن presence of proteins, so the proteins is present at time 0 in both tubes A and B. A اللي هو with gastric juice and B without gastric juice. I put albumin in both tubes، يعني أنا بس حط albumin يعني إجباري يكون في proteins. After 60 minutes here بمشي هيك. The proteins disappeared لأنه ليكو absence of proteins. The proteins disappeared in tube A but stays the same in tube B. فإذا هون اختفوا البروتينز، هون stays the same. ليش؟ لأنه هون في عندي pancreatic juice وهون ما عندي pancreatic juice. فإذا interpretation هي um, I have to analyze these results and don't forget to use the variable factor from this document here which is the gastric juice. وعلى فكرة من دون variable factor حتروح كل الانتربريتيشن، والsignificance اللي هي أنا حاستنتجها حتكون related للgastric juice. شو عم يعمل under the same conditions. شو هن same conditions؟ albumin وتاني شي 37 degree Celsius in أو the proteins disappeared after 60 minutes in tube A with gastric juice. وانتبهوا اللي بينسال الجاستريك جوس يعني زيرو، لأنه we are studying the effect of it، يعني ما في انساه. while in tube B without gastric juice the proteins stay the same أو stay present إذا بدكم. thus شو بستنتج significance؟ gastric بلش فيه gastric juice digest the proteins only in out in tube A أو is responsible for the chemical transformation of proteins أو في يقول responsible for the molecular simplification أو اللي بدكم إياه. فإذا here the variable factor is very very important. okay, name 3 juices secreted in the small intestine. حفظ pancreatic juice، تاني شي عندي bile، وتالت شي عندي intestinal juice.